Hi, and welcome back. This is our final discussion of transport of materials in living things, and I want to talk about the process of active transport. So this is the odd one out. So far we've talked about diffusion and osmosis, and both of those processes are passive. In other words, they're going to happen anyway because molecules will move from where there's more of them to where there's less of them. However, in active transport, the opposite happens, and living things sometimes want to get as much of a substance as they can. And that means they need to drag that material against the concentration gradient from where there's fewer molecules to where there's already more of them inside cells. Think of it as pushing a shopping trolley up the hill full of stuff that you really, really want. And active transport therefore requires energy. Remember, energy is released by respiration, and therefore in places where active transport is needed, for example in your kidneys, there will be cells with lots of mitochondria for doing plenty of respiration to provide that energy. So an example of active transport would be in plants, roots absorbing mineral ions from the soil where the solutions can be very, very dilute, and say although the plant might have, say, plenty of magnesium already, it doesn't want to miss out on an opportunity to get as much as possible, so it uses some energy to pull that magnesium in from the liquid in the soil into its cells. Again, an adaptation to any movement of substances. You can see on this diagram of a root here, of a picture of a root, its surface area is increased by having lots of root hair cells. Okay, to summarize then, we've talked about three ways in which materials move in and out of cells. Most stuff moves by diffusion. It's where material moves down the concentration gradient from a higher concentration to a lower concentration. This is like something rolling down the hill. Osmosis is the same, except it only refers to water. And remember, it's water molecules moving from where there's more of the water, in other words, a dilute solution, to where there's less water molecules, in other words, a more concentrated solution. And we need to specify that there is a membrane that prevents other solutes from passing in or out of a cell. Our odd one out is active transport because it's against the concentration gradient, it's going up the hill, and it requires energy, and therefore places where active transport is happening will need plenty of mitochondria to do respiration to provide that energy.